Okay, how's everybody doing today? Of course, my name is Kent. The channel is EOS Bitcoin San Diego. I am in San Diego, California, and we're 2:55 p.m. in the afternoon on July 27th. And of course, today I want to talk about the markets because yesterday we had a pretty good day in the markets. Let me bring up that screen. First of all, I'm going to remember to change my screen so you can see my browser. There we go. Then everything's good. There's our good friend Elon Musk. We're going to talk about him in a second. But before we talk to Elon, I want to talk about the markets. Actually, we had a really good day yesterday. It ran up about $10,000. A few days ago it was 30, getting close. It was in $29,000, $30,000 range. Goes from that all the way up to 40,000. Dropped back a little bit to $37,000. Evidently, the main news was that Amazon appears that they're going to start accepting Bitcoin as payment, which is inevitable. Very smart move when you think that Amazon does hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue a day, and that money's kind of floating around. And if you keep it in dollars, actually it's being devalued every day as more dollars being printed, as the price, as the money becomes more plentiful, as the government continues to have no other option but to continue to increase the supply of money. They're going to do, the money's just going to be worth less. So what do you do with that money? Is that money kind of floats around between you and delivering the product, and while you're getting it reinvested into the business, you can let it go away, at 20% or 10, 20, whatever it is. I think Michael Saylor says it's devalued at 20% a year. So if you have $100,000 in a bank account, at the end of the year, you've got $80,000. Are you going to let that happen with hundreds of millions of dollars in play being passed back and forth between consumer and Amazon? Or are you going to take Bitcoin and start hoarding Bitcoin, which I think Amazon's going to start doing? And Amazon's not going to be the only one. They're all going to be forced to do this. So the inevitable thing that's going on here today is that people that have a lot of money are going to have to start moving that money from currencies, from paper currencies, from fiat currencies to some sort of a scarcity, digital currency. If they don't do that, they're going to end up paying a heavy price and inevitably going out of business. And that's why I want to talk about what's going on with Elon Musk. So there's a pretty good video. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. I'll play only little segments of it because of course, YouTube has a problem with you playing other people's material. But here, I'm going to talk just a little bit about what Elon says. And I think, is this the part? No, this is the part where he talks about his investment in Bitcoin. And he also talks a little bit about the renewable energies and everything. But I'll just let him talk. Let me see if I've got it started at the right place. Yeah, let's let Elon talk for just a moment here, and we'll talk about what he says. Here we go. If it plays. And why isn't it playing? I got to change my preferences again. Forget to do this every single time. Either that or my computer switches over when I bring up this app. Let me see here. We'll go to, there we go. That should let us play it. Get rid of that, come back to that, go back to here, or go back to my browser, bring the browser up, and here's Elon again.
Now, we're not selling any Bitcoin, nor am I selling anything personally, or nor is SpaceX selling any Bitcoin.
Okay, so Elon stated here earlier that they are no longer accepting Bitcoin as payment for their Tesla cars, which is stupid because he needs to take Bitcoin for his Tesla car, because taking fiat currencies is losing money. It's like taking something that's depreciating, it's melting away. It's like taking ice cubes for your cars. Every day, a little bit of it melts away. And that's what happens when he's getting fiat currencies for his Tesla cars. So even the fact that he decided not to take Bitcoin for a Tesla was a mistake. But he's saying that it was not financially motivated. What he's saying, it was motivated. If it was financially motivated, he wouldn't have done it because he drove down the price of Bitcoin. So what he's saying is that now that it's kind of becoming more of a renewable energy source, there's no more shoveling of coal, as he says, for the production, the mining of Bitcoin, that he's willing to re-accept Bitcoin as payment for Tesla cars. But here we go.
Again, I want to emphasize SpaceX, Tesla, and I own Bitcoin.
Okay, so SpaceX, which is a company, which he has a fiduciary duty to their shareholders to do the right thing. If he doesn't, he could be held responsible, criminally held responsible. I mean, this is serious business when you're accepting money, investor money, and you have a responsibility to do the right thing with it. So yeah, he's bought Bitcoin for SpaceX and for Tesla, but not Ethereum and not Deutsche. He's keeping that in his own personal accounts. So that tells you something about Ethereum and Deutsche. He doesn't have the confidence in Ethereum and Deutsche as he has in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the one that he's responsible for publicly, he's responsible for as a publicly held company selling shares to the individual, to the private individual. He only holds Bitcoin, but the other ones he holds privately. Here, I'll let him continue to talk.
I also own a little bit of Ethereum and Doge, but the companies just own Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin that I own is worth much more than the Ethereum or Doge. So
he tells you right there, even though he's playing around with Deutsche, which is basically a little play toy for him, that he's driving up. He's manipulated the price by saying, join me with Deutsche and we'll all be rich together. My little inside club. But in the meantime, he's just owning Bitcoin for his publicly held companies, not Deutsche and not Ethereum. So keep going. Here we go.
Clearly, if I'm, if these actions negatively affect me financially, if I was purely financially motivated, then I would not express this reticence about Bitcoin energy usage.
Okay, so basically what he's saying, he said the reason he ever said anything about the Bitcoin energy usage was because it wasn't financially motivated, because it actually hurt him financially, and it did. It hurt all of us financially. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Nice to see you today. Starlink, Google Cloud, EOS, Starlink. Yeah, we're going to talk about EOS. Thanks for bringing that up, Rick. We'll cover this and we'll talk a little bit about EOS, because I got some stuff to talk about here with EOS. Obviously, I believe EOS is the future of smart contract blockchain. Not Ethereum, not Cardano, and certainly not what's the other one I'm thinking about? I think going back here to the coins, certainly not Binance. No, not Binance, not Cardano, and not Ethereum. These will not be the smart contract platforms of the future. The smart contract platform of the future will be EOS. And I'll cover that, the latter part of this video. So thanks for bringing that up, Rick. Starlink, but I want to give me some more information about Starlink. Send it to me right now. I'll talk about it. So I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Hey, Kent, I appreciate your forward with EOS over these periods. But also check out Pulse Chain. Yeah, Pulse is Ethereum. It's coming soon. Richard Hartson, the same guy who created Hex, which did like 4x gains. Again, Richard, and sometimes I call him something else. I can't remember what else I call him, but I mistake his name. Maybe I call him George Hart. I mean, Richard Hart. But yeah, Richard Hart is a sleight of hand guy. I made a video about that. I said everything I needed to say about it. If you want to watch the video, the guy's built nothing. I don't even think he knows what a GitHub is. I think GitHub for him is, where he's going to get his next hamburger. His next fat food, food is going to come from GitHub. That's all he knows about GitHub. So I'm laughing because GitHub is where people store their code, which I don't think. I'd like to take a look at the GitHub for Hex, HEX, because people have been sending me all kinds of stuff about Hex, and not to say that it hasn't gone up in value, because it has gone up in value, but come on, man. So is Deutsche, and look at Deutsche and see what's going on with that. Like I say, and that's the point I'm trying to drive home right now, is a guy like Elon Musk isn't buying Deutsche for his companies. He's buying Bitcoin. He isn't buying Ethereum for his company. He's buying Bitcoin. He personally is playing around with Deutsche and Ethereum because he's got a lot of money and he can afford to do that. But the rest of us better put our money where it's got real value and where it's got real potential to do something. And like right now, that's Bitcoin. There's a guy by the name of Max Kaiser. Everybody knows who he is if he listens. I would listen to Max Kaiser for 20 years. I remember when he was on the Alex Jones show clear back in the late 1990s. And, he's said many times that Bitcoin's going to take over the world. It's going to take over everything. It's just going to completely swallow up everything. The entire economy is going to be swallowed up by Bitcoin. At the time he said that, over the years, I thought he was kind of crazy because he looks kind of crazy, acts kind of crazy, sometimes talks kind of crazy. But in the meantime, he may be right. It may be literally eating up the world. And I'll explain that in a second after I finish the rest of this video. Because the next part of this video I'm going to talk about is why Bitcoin literally could just basically swallow up the entire financial system. Here we go. Some more of Elon.
Now, it looks like Bitcoin is shifting a lot more towards renewables, and a bunch of the heavy-duty coal plants that were being used, unequivocally being used, this is not a question mark, have been shut down, especially in China.
Okay, so now he's saying that a lot of the coal mining out of China that was done for mining Bitcoin has been shut down. Now he's got almost empirical, is that the word? Empirical evidence, which means substantial evidence, that Bitcoin is now being mainly mined by renewable energy, which is what he's all about, because he's with Tesla, and he talks about how renewable energy is the future. He wants it to be the future, and I agree. Renewable energy is the way to go. It's cleaner. It's free because it's coming from the sun. Just the hardware it takes in order to harvest it and to use it, but it's so much easier than using coal fire plants or some of these other. And it's sustainable. It's like the thing about coal and the thing about these other ways of mining. It's very, very, very difficult. It's very difficult. But you got to have that mining component to the currency for there to be some scarcity to it. So that's why energy is important. Are you going to get the energy from the ground, or are you going to get it from the sun? Obviously, somebody wants it from the sun. To me, I don't think it's as big a deal as Elon likes to make. He's a little bit of a, in my opinion, he's a little bit of a person that's overly exaggerating the amount of energy it takes to mine Bitcoin. Because that's his agenda. He likes that. He wants that. That's what he wants to do. But when you look, if you ever lived in any major city in the United States and drive through those cities late at night, you can see most of the lights are left on in these big buildings. There's so much wasted energy that the fact that we're even talking about the amount of energy that it takes to mine Bitcoin is pretty irrelevant in my opinion. But that's the way he thinks. That's the way his world works. So yeah, that's why he's doing what he's doing. But he's cost himself some money. It's cost a lot of us a lot of money, and he's driven the market down from like 60 grand down to 38,000 right now, where it was before he started all of his all of his opinion about renewable energies and Bitcoin. So anyway, I think let me see if there's any more I want to talk about this part of the video.
So I think it's probably, I want to do a little bit more diligence to confirm that the...
Okay, so basically what it's going to tell you here in the next few minutes, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to violate the algorithm, but he's going to start accepting Bitcoin for his Tesla vehicle. So you bet that's hey, how's it going, Zach? Haven't seen you for a while. US Bitcoin San Diego, you must get PCH on Ethereum. He mentioned Ethereum after I wore my Ethereum shirt on live stream. Oh man, Zach, you got to ruin it for me, man. And here I'm just about ready to talk up EOS, and now you got to bring Ethereum into it. So yeah, I don't know. In my mind, Ethereum's got to launch 2.0. When they launch 2.0, I'm going to be all for Ethereum. But until they launch 2.0, I don't know. I'm just on the fence about Ethereum. I just don't really believe it's going to happen. I've heard too much. Did you not see Warren? No, I didn't, Zach. Send me that information. Okay. Okay, send me all that information. Zach, good friend of ours down in San Diego. He keeps up on everything. He's way far. He's ahead of me on so much stuff. So, but anyway, let's keep on going with Elon here because he makes a really important part. And this is the part I'm going to tell you about Bitcoin. Tesla's going to use PT. Okay, Zach. I know Zach. He's going to keep coming at me, dude. I know. Okay, Zach. Okay. But Ethereum's got to run 2.0. They're never going to do it on a. I'm going to have you on. Yeah, that's that. I need to get Zach on this channel. Zach. Yeah, I'll get you on, Zach. Be patient. I'll get you on. He'll blow up my he's gonna blow up my comment section here if I'm not careful. Okay, Zach, I'm gonna have you on. I surrender. You're gonna be on the channel very soon. We'll get you on because Zach's a good guy and he knows a lot of stuff. He's on top of a lot of this stuff. Like I say, a lot more than I am. So anyway, I'm going to go to 350 on this thing, and we're going to listen a little bit more. And this is the part I really want to drive home. I want people to listen to very closely because this is important. This is 650. Sorry about that. 650. Here we go. I want you to listen to this very closely because Elon makes some points here that I think everybody should be paying close attention to. Here we go. 650. Here we go. Okay, listen to what Elon has to say.
Negative interest rates. This is insane.
Yeah. Paying the banks. Paying the banks to hold the bank.
Now I'm going to get hit with the commercial.
If you suspect that your advisor's not telling you the whole story,
to keep your money. I'm like, what?
It is crazy.
Like, we'll definitely move down to Bitcoin.
Okay, that Kathy Woods was talking over him a little bit. But basically what Elon is saying is that right now in Europe, they have negative interest rates. What negative interest rates are is that they don't pay you for your money in the bank account. You pay them to have your money in the bank. So they may charge you a point or two just to have your money in the bank. Now, we've heard about that. I've heard about that a lot. And I think that's coming very soon to the United States, negative interest rates. You know, a long time ago, and that's one thing I do. I've had perspective on a long period of time because I've been around for a while. I remember when Japan had low interest rates, almost 0% interest rates. And here in the United States, we were still 4 or 5% interest rates. And I remember hearing that they were at zero on their interest rates. And I remember thinking, wow, 0% interest, how would that work? And this has been a number of years ago. Japan was at 0%. And I thought that was crazy. I mean, it's like negative interest rates. All of our lives we've been taught, you put some money in the bank and the bank pays you back something for the money. That's just the way it is. That's like going out and working for a day's wage. And then you pay the guy at the end of the day to work for him. That's kind of, instead of him paying you for your work, you're paying him to work. Well, that's kind of the way negative interest rates are. You take your hard-earned money and then you give it to the bank, and then the bank pays you, or you pay the bank for having that on their bank account or in their bank. That's negative interest rates, and that's what Elon's talking about. He's saying there's negative interest rates in Europe right now, so why even have the money in the bank? Why not just put that into Bitcoin? And that's where everything's going. I can guarantee you we are going to negative interest rates here in the United States of America too. They can't go any lower. They're going to have to go negative, and they can't raise these rates. It's impossible to raise these rates. If they raise these rates with the COVID and all the other things going on that are negatively affecting this economy, to raise rates right now would completely send us in a deflationary cycle. And the last thing anybody wants is for things to stop going. That's what deflation is everything just stops, things get more expensive, and nobody buys. Everybody just stops. And that's what's going to happen if you have interest rates. Because interest rates are going to add to the cost of everything. We've already got massive inflation that they cannot stop, they cannot hold. If you listen to any of these people right now that are on YouTube, everybody's telling you the same thing: inflation, 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 but they're not showing up in the numbers, the government numbers. And the reason they're not showing up because they can't tell you the truth about how much inflation they are. But if they raise interest rates, that's going to cause even more inflation, and they can't do it. So we're probably going to go to negative interest rates. If we go to negative interest rates, a guy like this guy right here, Bezos, a guy like Elon Musk, that has a lot of money that's going on between the two, between the banks and themselves, they're not going to put it in the bank anymore because they're not going to pay the banks to hold their money, especially when their cost of business is so high. They got to deliver a product to a customer. That's money. So when you spend money and then you take it and you put it someplace and it costs you even more money to hold that money, you're not going to absorb that. And they're not going to do that. So that's where we're going with this thing. We're going to negative interest rates. So I think what Saylor was saying, there's like 30,000 people in the world today that can throw $1 billion at Bitcoin. And he says in his calculations, just a very few have done it. So how many of these people are going to start throwing money at Bitcoin when you've got negative interest rates across the world and you don't have any other way to transact but through banks, traditional banks, fiat currency banks? Then you're going to have to go to something like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin inevitably has got to go up because it's a finite number of Bitcoin. It's the only way that you're going to see your money improve or increase in value. And if you don't go that direction, then you're going to lose money, and you just can't afford to do that. In fact, my thing and this is why I was saying and talked about Max Kaiser a little bit ago. It's getting to the point where literally everything is too expensive to do. If you own a business and you're trying to get your business off and running, you're trying to get your business going, you almost can't afford to do it because everything's getting so expensive. I mean, the cost of transportation are going up and up and up. I mean, I was listening to what it costs to bring a container over from China to the United States. It's increasing in cost. The price of delivering everything, fuel, everything's going up so much in value, cost, that if you don't, if you're trying to go into business or do something for yourself right now, it's getting so expensive that it's almost better just to put your money in something that's going to increase in value without having any overhead. And that's what it is. You know, if you're in business, the thing what you want to do is you want to decrease overhead. Any activity now is so expensive, the overhead's killing you. That's why you got so many people on unemployment. They would rather stay home and get unemployment than they would go out and get a job and lose money. By the time you drive to your job, spend your time at your job, do all the things that you need to do at your job, you're losing time, you're losing money. And then, you know, you're not able to educate yourself about things like Bitcoin. So you're really, really costing yourself because you're not figuring out a way to get out of that, what they used to call the rat race, you know, of making a job, just making ends meet, just making my payments, and then going home with literally nothing left over. And by the time I pay my taxes, you know, really being in a bad situation. So I literally see a lot of these very wealthy people doing nothing but investing in Bitcoin, overrunning their business, just like Michael Saylor. You know, Michael Saylor's got MicroStrategies. And what's he been doing the last 10 years? He tells you. He's been telling you. He's been very forefront as far as what he's been doing. He's been investing in you know, the high flying tech stocks, Amazon, you know, Google, Apple. These are the things people have been investing in that are. I got to read this. Oh my God, you are a bunch of delusionals. I'm not reading all the comments because they're coming by too fast, but. So the thing about it is I do believe eventually Bitcoin will take over the economy, will take over everything, because it's the only place to put money right now and not lose money in the meantime. So now I can read some of the comments. Okay, some could be fake name, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, and then of course the reason that Bitcoin has done its big upswing here recently is because, according to insiders, and I think it's been pretty much confirmed, that Amazon will start taking a Bitcoin as payment, and they should. They probably will. Here, let me see what he says real quick. I'll run the video just a little bit.
And that leads us to the third and final price catalyst, which I also think is the most significant. So the reason behind today's big Bitcoin jump was news dropping that Amazon is definitely lining up Bitcoin payments and tokens confirmed by it.
Yep, I think that's probably going to happen. So when you see Amazon taking Bitcoin, which will be a smart move, they'll be hoarding Bitcoin. So when you got somebody doing, let's see, what's the volume of Amazon a day? How much business does Amazon do in a day? Let's see. So when you've got a company that's doing, what, $385 million a day? 385 million, that's 2019, so probably a lot more now. Let's see if I get some numbers here. Yeah, I mean, they're doing 46 billion, 37 billion. Let me see. Amazon's net revenue by 47 billion year to year, 239. I mean, they're doing daily volume, which is incredible. If they start taking payments in Bitcoin, they're just going to start hoarding up all the Bitcoin. So that's just going to make it more and more valuable because there's less Bitcoin available, because people like Amazon are taking it as payment and they're holding on to it because it's increasing in value. So yeah, I think this trend is going to start going up, and I think we're going to see a lot more people buying Bitcoin. So if you haven't jumped in, I think these prices are still really, really, really good. So now that we've talked about that, let's talk about EOS, because EOS hasn't seen much appreciation here. Well, a little bit up this day, but of course we run challenge application on EOS. We're very comfortable with that. It's working out really well for us. And of course, if we go off to some of the other platforms to run our application, they will still be sister chains of EOS. So we're basically on EOS, as you know. And I made a video about Richard Hart and of course Hex. basically saying the guy's a sleight of hand artist. He doesn't really build anything or do anything. He just has you stake Ethereum to him, and then, he make you cut you back a little bit of it. And I got a lot of people send me a lot of comments on that. But anyway, to me, Ethereum's got to launch 2.0. Cardano's got to launch, period. Somebody asked me the other day, how in the world could I compare Charles Hawkinson to Vitalik not to Vitalik, but to Richard Hart. But to me, I don't know which one's worse. I listen to Cardano and I listen to Hawkinson. She says I can't pronounce his name right either. Maybe I don't pronounce his name right. This guy has got a lot of money tied up. A lot of money, 40 billion in market cap, 2.22 billion dollars a day in just volume. So this guy's got a lot of stuff going on for a chain that has not launched. So yeah, in my mind, he's got to launch his chain, man. Before he has any credibility with me, he's got to do something. He can't just sit there and talk about peer-reviewed papers. He's got to do some activity. I'll take a look at Hex, what Hex is doing today. Of course, Hex is up, and of course, Hex is just a way for the last person. When you're playing Hex, like playing Deutsch, the last person holding the bag is going to be the person that's going to be hurting. So, Telos. Okay, Zach, everything's going to Telos. Okay, Telos. Doubt EOS will take a smart contract lead. I think they got to take the smart contract lead. They're the only ones that can do it. I mean, who else has got a chain running right now in smart contract world that's actually doing transactions? That's doing any number of transactions without overheating. I mean, if you go to Ethereum, you're going to, and even Vitalik himself says when the Ethereum starts doing well, people will start running a lot of stuff on Ethereum, the gas fees get too high. So yeah, I mean, right now they're the only ones, or Telos, which is sister chain of EOS. I mean, these are the guys that are making business right now. EOS creator and crypto is only as good as what you can buy for society. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if society's going to collapse or not. I think society is changing. And the way society is changing is, obviously we're moving to a technology world where things are done digitally. People don't go work outside their homes anymore. People work within their homes. People are working online. I mean, we definitely have a society right now that is definitely moving towards a different society than what we had as I grew up. When I grew up in the 1960s, it's definitely different. And for now, I'm going to turn off these comments for a second because they're not allowing me to talk. But now I know why I do these all the night. That's a lie. Don't say that. It's wrong. What Zach? It's not a sister chain. It's an independent mainnet. Well, they're using the same software, man. They're using the same software. It's what would you call it? It may be independent. I know Telos runs with different block producers and all the other stuff. Okay, but they're basically running the EOS.io software. What would you call it, Zach? If it's not a sister chain, what is it? Give me a definition of what Telos is. Yeah, I know. I've seen that, Zach. I see it's got the most transactions in the world. I look at those numbers all the time. We look at them all the time. Yeah, tell me. What else you want to tell me, Zach? I'm waiting. Zach, give me a response. What if it's not a sister chain? 9 people watching. Who cares? Laugh out loud. Okay, Zach. Okay. 9 people watching today, but there may be a few more watching in the future. So make a point. EOS is not a chain. EOS.io is not a chain. Yeah, it's a software. I know that. EOS is a chain. Okay. Okay, people can read the comments. You can read through Zach's comments. Like I say, Zach's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's very, very heavily involved with Telos, which we are too. I mean, we like to run on Telos too, but we are real developers. When we say we run on Telos, we actually are going to do it and not be like Charles Hawkinson and talk about it, or Vitalik Buterin and talk about it. We're actually doing it. And that actually takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of development on our part. So it's not like we're going to run on Telos now and we're just doing it. We actually follow through with what we're going to say. That's the difference between us and people like Charles Hawkinson or Vitalik Buterin or some of these other people. We're actually following through with it. So You want to run on Telos, we have to set it up and get it done. And I think that's one of the things. You have to talk to Chase about that. But I think that's in the works, and we're working on it now. Okay, Zach. Zach, you need to come on. Just stop the comments. I don't want to hear any more comments. Just come on the channel, and we'll talk. I'll let you just have all the time you want to talk. You call me later on today. You know how to get a hold of me. You know how to get a hold of Chase. I was more involved. Yeah, I know, Zach. Zach, this has become a discussion between you and me, not between me and a bunch of people, other people that listen to this channel. We'll talk, Zach, later. I'm not going to discuss any more stuff with you today, Zach. So, yeah, Telos is a good thing. Zach's going to be on this channel. If you want to hear somebody that can really talk a mile a minute, you're going to get a chance to hear him with Zach. So, and maybe, I think he's probably been a few other channels, but he's very big into Telos. And of course, I think he likes Ethereum too. Like I say, I'm not going to, you heard Elon just talk a minute ago about how he only owns Bitcoin for his own personal accounts. I mean, he only owns Bitcoin for business accounts. The accounts, that's the account that really makes a difference, is the ones that he publicly traded companies hold, not the ones that he holds personally. So we'll see. But anyway, I am happy with the way these markets are going. I do think they will continue to improve. And I think things will be a lot better for Bitcoin. And if you haven't bought any Bitcoin yet, you need to get involved, because this is a time to get involved. So let me sign off here. And like I say, get a hold of me later, Zach. We'll figure out a time for you to come on. We'll talk, and maybe we can get you, me, and Chase on. And that would be a good live section. Anyway, in the meantime, Bitcoin. God, it's inevitable to happen. It's happening every day, all day long. So anyway, talk to you later. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.